Establishing the classroom. Imagine if your entire life could fit inside a simple glass jar. What would you put in first? The big things that matter most, or the tiny distractions that fill up your days? Stick with me, because by the end of this story, you'll never look at your life the same way again. Let me take you back to a small college town, where a young professor named Dr. Ellis taught philosophy. He wasn't the kind of teacher who lectured from textbooks. No, he believed in lessons that stuck with you long after the bell rang. One rainy afternoon, his classroom was packed with students, tired faces, buried in notes, stressed about exams and futures. Among them sat Mia, a bright 22-year-old juggling classes, a part-time job, and dreams of becoming a writer. But lately, life felt like a never-ending treadmill. She was always busy, yet nothing seemed to matter. Dr. Ellis walks in, introducing the jar. Dr. Ellis walked in with a smile, carrying a large, empty glass jar. He set it on the table, along with a pile of fist-sized rocks, a bowl of pebbles, a bag of sand, and a pitcher of water. The class leaned in, curious. "Today," he said softly, "we're not talking about theories. We're talking about life. Your life." He paused, letting the words hang in the air. "This jar, it's you. It's the time you have each day. And what you fill it with, that's up to you." Describing Mia's stressed life. Mia shifted in her seat. She thought about her own days, endless scrolling on her phone, replying to emails that didn't matter, skipping meals to cram for tests. It all felt so full, but empty at the same time. Mia reflecting during the lesson. Dr. Ellis picked up the rocks first. "These," he explained, "are the big things. Your family, your health, your true passions. The stuff that makes life worth living." He dropped them into the jar, one by one. Thunk, thunk. They filled it about halfway. "Is the jar full?" he asked. A few students nodded. "Looks pretty full to me," one guy muttered. Dr. Ellis chuckled. "Not yet." He grabbed the pebbles next. "These are the important but smaller things, your job, your studies, your hobbies." He poured them in, shaking the jar gently. They trickled down, filling the gaps between the rocks. Now the jar looked even fuller. "Full now?" he questioned, raising an eyebrow. The class hesitated. Mia whispered to her friend, "Maybe when rocks are added first." With a grin, Dr. Ellis reached for the sand. "This is everything else, the little distractions, the worries, the busy work." He let it sift in, watching it settle into the tiniest spaces. The jar brimmed to the top. "Surely full now, right?" Everyone agreed. It was packed. But Dr. Ellis wasn't done. He lifted the pitcher. "And this is for the unexpected joys, the moments of rest." He poured the water slowly, and amazingly, it seeped through without spilling a drop. The class gasped. "See," he said, his voice warm and steady. "If you put the big rocks in first, there's room for everything else. But if you start with the sand, well, let's see what happens." Demonstrating sand first, jar overflowing. He emptied the jar and started over, this time with the sand. It filled up quickly. Then the pebbles, they barely fit, spilling over the sides. And the rocks? No chance. They sat outside, unwanted. The jar was a mess, overflowing with the small stuff. Mia's heart sank. That was her life. Sand first, social media notifications, pointless arguments, late-night worries about what others thought. The big rocks. Time with her aging parents, writing that novel she'd dreamed of, even just a walk to clear her head, they got pushed aside. Always later. But later never came. As the demonstration ended, Dr. Ellis looked around the room. "Life's jar isn't infinite," he said quietly. "We all get the same 24 hours. Fill it with sand first, and you'll wonder why there's no space for what truly matters. But prioritize the rocks, and magic happens." He paused, his eyes meeting Mia's. "What are your big rocks? Think about it." Mia alone at night, feeling regret, grandmother's illness. The class was silent. For Mia, it was a wake-up call. That night, she sat in her dorm, staring at her cluttered desk. Books everywhere, phone buzzing non-stop. She felt a knot in her chest, the weight of missed opportunities. Remember that family dinner she'd skipped last week for a group project? Or the story ideas scribbled in a notebook, gathering dust? It hurt, realizing how much she'd let slip. But the real struggle hit a few weeks later. Mia's grandmother fell ill. It was sudden, a stroke that left her weak and scared. Mia rushed to the hospital, guilt flooding her. "Why didn't I visit more?" she whispered to herself in the waiting room. Tears stung her eyes. Work and school had seemed so urgent, but now, they felt like sand. Gran was a big rock, one she'd almost forgotten. Hospital scene with grandmother. Days blurred into hospital visits. Mia cut back on her shifts, ignored the piling assignments. She held her Gran's hand, listening to old stories, laughing through the pain. It was hard. Balancing it all felt impossible. Doubts crept in. Am I failing everything else? But deep down, she knew this was right. The jar lesson echoed in her mind. Put the rocks first. Then came the climax, the moment that broke her open. One evening, as the sun set outside the hospital window, her grandmother squeezed her hand. "Mia, darling," she said weakly, "don't wait like I did. I chased small things my whole life, jobs, worries. But the people, the dreams, those are what stay." Her voice cracked. "Fill your jar wisely." Mia sobbed, right there. It was raw, real. All the emotions she'd buried came rushing out, regret, love, fear. She saw her life flash before her, years of putting urgent over important. No more. That night, she promised herself change. Mia starting new habits, writing in morning. Slowly, things shifted. Mia recovered her balance. Her grandmother got better, bit by bit. Mia started small, mornings for writing, evenings for family calls. She said no to distractions, yes to what fueled her soul. School didn't suffer, in fact, she focused better. The sand still tried to creep in, but now she shook the jar, making space. Final scene of Mia sharing her story, a closing lesson. Months later, Mia stood in Dr. Ellis's class again, sharing her story. "That jar," she said, voice steady but emotional, "it saved me. It showed me life's not about filling every second. It's about what you fill it with." Dr. Ellis nodded, proud. "Exactly. The jar explains your life. Big rocks first, love, health, purpose. Then the rest falls into place." Final motivational takeaway of ending lines. So, friend, what's in your jar right now? Are you pouring in sand, wondering why you're exhausted? Or are you guarding those big rocks like treasures? Take a moment. Pause. Think about your day. Who matters most? What dream have you shelved? Start today. Put the rocks in first. You'll find room for pebbles, sand, even that refreshing water. Final motivational takeaway of ending lines. Life's too short for a jar full of regrets. Make it count. Fill it with what lights you up. And watch how everything changes. You'll never see your life the same way again.